It started as a routine evening, or at least that's what Ethan, thought when I dropped my wife, Vanessa, off at the small roadside motel where she said she needed a night alone to think. We'd been married for 10 years, and the last 2 had been rocky. She'd been distant, snapping over minor things, staying out late under vague pretenses. I had suspected something for months, but I didn't want to confront her without proof. That night, she promised me she'd be home early, kissed me quickly, and disappeared behind the motel's sliding glass door. I drove home, my mind racing but my actions precise. I had already arranged everything carefully. A friend of mine, someone I trusted completely, had borrowed a tow truck under the guise of a service call, ready to remove Vanessa's car from the motel parking lot the minute she stepped out. I didn't intend harm. I wanted to reveal truth in a way that forced accountability. Around midnight, Vanessa emerged, slipping her key into the ignition, only to find the car gone. Her scream echoed through the empty lot, startling other guests. Panic rose on her face, followed quickly by confusion. She ran to the motel office, demanded to see cameras, and the clerk, trained not to question anything, shook his head. I watched from a distance, calm but alert. Moments later, my phone buzzed, a message from my friend. She's starting to check the parking lot. Should I intervene? I typed back, not yet. Let her realize first. The next part was carefully staged. In the trunk of her car, hidden the day before, was a folder containing receipts, messages, and photos she had never meant me to see. I had copied everything meticulously. The restaurant reservations under her name with another man, the exchanged texts suggesting secret meetings, and the tiny inconsistencies in her stories she had always brushed off with a smile. The folder was placed in my car, which had been parked in front of her motel, and I left a note on the windshield. For your review. Truth cannot hide forever. Vanessa's reaction was instantaneous. She flipped through the papers, her face draining of color, the confidence she had carried like armor now melting into disbelief. The man she had thought she could deceive had orchestrated every step without ever needing to chase her. Panic shifted to anger, then to a desperate realization that her choices had consequences. When she looked up, she saw me standing calmly across the lot, arms folded, nothing theatrical, nothing vindictive, just quiet, measured presence. She tried to speak, her voice trembling. Ethan, I didn't. I shook my head. You made your choices, Vanessa. Now you have to face them. The motel parking lot, once a place of secrets and whispered excuses, became the stage for accountability. The folder in her hands wasn't punishment, it was clarity. I had no desire to humiliate her publicly, but I refused to let her continue hiding behind lies. The realization hit her harder than any shouting could. By the time the police arrived, called by the motel after Vanessa insisted her car had been stolen, I was gone, leaving only a note on the motel office counter. Truth doesn't vanish. Let your conscience guide your next step. The evidence in the folder had already been sent digitally to a lawyer friend, ensuring that any further deception could not manipulate facts. I returned home, quiet and composed, knowing the confrontation was complete. The shock, fear, and disbelief she felt was enough to make her reconsider every choice she had made over the past months. In the days that followed, Vanessa tried to regain control, calling friends and family, but everyone she approached had already heard whispers, small hints of the organized evidence that proved her infidelity. There were no dramatic arguments, no physical confrontations, just the slow, inevitable unraveling of the trust she had broken. By the time she realized the extent of her exposure, it was too late. The car had been towed to a secure lot, the folder reviewed, and the digital copies safely stored. Her freedom to manipulate the narrative had vanished. Weeks later, I filed for divorce, armed not only with proof but with the quiet satisfaction of knowing I had handled betrayal with dignity and strategy. Vanessa had learned that deception is fragile, and when someone you underestimate plans methodically, even the smallest lies can crumble in full view. It was a lesson she would not forget. A cheating spouse may run, hide, and deflect, but truth finds a way to meet them, often in the most unexpected moments. That motel lot, once ordinary, became a symbol of consequence, calm, unavoidable, and precise, and it reminded me that patience, planning, and restraint can be the most powerful form of justice.